a 2, and a 1. Bing! And we're live. It is the Modern Fowler Scrum. And we have Sam and Paul and Pat and Lara, I think, addressing technology. So shall we start with Pat? How are things going with you, Pat?
Good. So what I worked on yesterday was obviously the proposal for the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital. Right. And subsequent to that, I've seen Laura's been working on the slides. They're coming along pretty well. I'm sure we'll be connecting up later after this at some point. And I did a lot of work on the MedPlus project, reviewing PRs, and I think I merged 1 or 2 yesterday. And some bug eradication work with Arun, back and forth on Slack. Made some good progress there. And that was pretty much it for me. No blockers on my side.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks, Pat. Paul, how are things going with you?
Oh, quite well, Sam. Been working on an improvement on the navigation for agency admin around hiding agency branches and companies and so on, or showing them using a button rather than the link that was there previously, or is there at the moment. So yeah, that's going quite well. It sort of required a lot of learning about JavaScript, jQuery, CSS, and that sort of thing. It was an area I needed to learn a bit more about.
Right, sounds pretty good. And nothing blocking you?
Not now. Yeah, I had to sort of go to W3 schools and really learn all about it, before I could make the changes. So I think I've got to that point now.
Great.
Can I
go on?
Yeah, Paul. So you're working on the story that's the redesign of the agency admin branches, people, and companies page, right? Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
So okay, so good. Of course, Laura's online here if you have any questions about the design. I'll just point out that I think I merged yesterday a story from Arun where he redesigned the agency admin job properties page in the same way that you're doing. Putting buttons there.
Yeah. Okay.
So you may want to pull that down and look at what he did. I think he did a really nice. Actually, I haven't merged it because I've got one change that I requested from him. But you can take a look at the pull request. He's got a screenshot there. Kind of shows you what he did. Came out nice. Came out very nicely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have a look.
And his PR probably has styling in it that you could just exploit, because he styled the same buttons that you were using, same styling. So it'd be good if they're all consistent. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to merge that PR. Sorry.
So which one was that for?
I'll look around and message it to you, or chat it to you here if I can find it quickly enough. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Just want to make you aware of that.
Good stuff. Let's move on to, hey, Lara, how are you doing?
Oh, good, and you, Sam? I've just been working on the pitch document for the NMCH pitch tomorrow. I have no blockers at the moment. So that's it from me.
All right.
Nice and short.
Pitch, short and sweet. It's all good. Yes, and so that leaves me. What have I managed to do this morning? I am not entirely sure. I'm chipping away at these largely sort of cosmetic view stuff on the website one. Yeah, they should be all done and ready to go out tomorrow. Actually, so that's nice. Not blocked there by anything other than existential angst over what is the right form for the code to be in. My medium is usually clay and all these digital bits and things. Yes, yes, slow start of the morning, a bit crazy. I can talk more easily. Coming up, we've got the Ruby Mob coming up this afternoon. We've got another of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital meetings. Yes, that's about the size of it. Let me look back at. I've been busily doing some stuff today. I don't know, just trying to work through my to-do list, which should be telling me what I've done, but I'm not really seeing anything there. Yeah, I mean, I guess, key thing is to get this website one stuff done for tomorrow and go forward for the next kickoff. Autograders client meeting tomorrow. The usual. I've got a championer. This is Federico's. He's creating this US-based non-profit called Championer to do various things, and I'm on the board there, so meeting for that tomorrow. But yeah, that's about it. No blockers. In which case, I think that's our Scrum. Do other people need to coordinate and get together?
Actually, I'd like to go ahead, Laura.
I was going to say, just to talk about the costings for Nelson Mandela Hospital. To do, the costing out, but I haven't. I just saw what you posted last night into the presentation, so that I can adapt it. Or
so your audio is breaking up slightly, Lara. I think you're saying you'd like to have a bit more of a discussion about the costings, which we could do. What were you going to say, Pat, about what you wanted to coordinate on?
What I wanted to do was just spend a couple minutes with Laura and Paul talking about Arun's PR that I alluded to, and get input from Laura in particular. He veered a little bit from the design. I wanted to confirm that what I wanted the design is consistent with what she wants, and that will help Paul, because Paul will have the same design element he has to.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't, partly because I'm on this one, Pat? Why don't you make a Met Plus hangout, and you guys can convene there, and then at the end, once you're done with Met Plus, Pat and Lara, maybe you can just speak, and if we need to set up an NMCH thing before then, I'm kind of available for the next hour or so. I'm around. So yeah, should we go forward like that?
Well, I'm wondering if you're available. I think the discussion that I want to have will take about 3 minutes. Would it be better to just go ahead and do that, and Sam, you kind of stick around and do something else in the meantime, and then we get back to NMCH?
Yeah, I guess it's a question of if we want. Do the Met Plus stuff there use this hangout. Yeah, do that. I will. I will. What's annoying is that I can't mute the individual window. But no, you if it's a short one, you take over here, and I'll disconnect and ping me on Slack when you're done. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool.
That'd be great. We'll do. Let's see now. So let's let me show you real quickly what I'm looking at. Get set up here. Share my window on my screen. So can you guys see my window on my screen?
Yes.
Okay, already got that running. That here. Okay, good. So let me log in as admin. Am I logged in as admin? I guess I am. So I'll go to job properties, which is the story that Arun's working on. So this is the feature branch that he put together. It isn't in the code, the production code yet. So this is what he did with this. Laura, you can see that I'm not sure that those are exactly styled the same color, etc., but I think they look really nice. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it works. I'm happy with it as is.
And we had a little X here. So what he did was he built this button that's got a garbage can icon and delete. I think it's a little maybe overkill to have garbage can and delete, but
yeah, it's cute, man.
it does look nice. So I like everything about this except this. So this is, as you know, there was a button in the old style that says add job specialty or add job skill. But he replaced that with this icon, this plus in a circle. And
he also move that to the top or something. I'm supposed to.
Well, I think.
Yes. I'm sure I added those to the top. Let me just go to the wiki.
See.
I'm just going to go to the wiki quickly.
Yeah.
This.
Let's see, admin.
Because you kind of lose it at the bottom.
Yeah. Companies. Okay, so that was yeah. Here we go. So here's what I'm looking at right now. And I think in your latest design,
left it at the bottom.
You had this,
left it at the bottom.
which is oh, in fact, I kind of think we could move to the top. But so my main problem here is that I think a typical user may not know what this plus means, and there's not even a tooltip that says click to add job skill. Plus, it's way over here on the right. I'd rather see it like under here. So I asked him to go back to the button that says add job skill, which is essentially this. So what do you think? Do you think this plus works, or do you think we should go?
I think it's not all that intuitive.
All that what?
No.
All that intuitive.
Oh, intuitive?
Yeah.
I agree. It's not clear to me, if I'm not that sophisticated user, what this means until I click it and oh, that's it. But
with the buttons, can I just share my screen?
Absolutely.
So I'll show you what I've done.
Yep.
So it's I think it's closer to what Laura designed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's not quite so spaced out, but
yeah, I think
these were standard styles. I think this was like an info color and a warning color. I think it's a bootstrap framework, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's got different. I think the agency information button is different than what he had. He has kind of a slightly grayed out thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, but the other color looks good.
Yeah, I think if you can follow the buttons that you said, it's a rune or a niche.
It's a rune.
It's done a rune. I think if you can just go back to your
You want me to go back to
Yeah. So your screen stopped sharing. Yeah, there you go. So I think I think Paul, what you've done is great. I think just maybe pull down
Do you see
style sheets and see so that you can copy his style sheets, because that will save you a lot of time.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's.
But it's looking good.
If you like his style, I'll copy that.
Yeah, he's already done the work for you for styling. I don't know. He's got this job properties pills. I don't know what does that mean? Is that how he's styling these? If he did things like specific styling and call it job property, we want it to be generic. So you can certainly take liberties with that. Yeah. So what I did, just let me just show you what I asked for, Laura, and I said, what did I say? Go down here. Where is it? Sorry for that. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what I said.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Or
yeah, that's perfect.
The thing I like about Arun, he experiments with the UI. He plays with it, and he's got and I really like this. It's much better than that little X we had.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I might have gone with just a trash can. But anyway, like you said, it's cute. It looks good. But this just really.
Are you gonna?
Go ahead.
Are you going to ask him just to update the CSS so that the buttons become a generic style that can just be applied?
Yes.
Because you said at the moment it's called job
Well, I don't know. So I'm looking at this thing called Job Properties Pills. So, and the fact that it says background light gray tells me that's what he's probably using to style this. And that should be a generic styling, not a job properties styling.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll add that comment as well. Genericize these things because they're,
they're going to be used across the board.
Absolutely. Okay, I just want to confirm that plus this plus thing. I think we're all in agreement that it's kind of not intuitive, and we just go back to the button.
Right.
In fact, it would be good if we style the button actually to be in the same line as this, but I'm not sure we could. Okay, that was it then. Anything else we should discuss? Paul, as you're working your way through it, anything else we should discuss now?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Great, thank you.
All right.
All right, so I will alert Sam that we can go back to the prior discussion. Let me quit my screen share. So I just DM'd Sam.
Oh, shit. Okay, great.
Oh.
Sorry, it's my tablet.
Probably don't want to do that too often.
Yeah, I've got to go now.
Oh, you do? Okay, Paul. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, I'm going to give myself whiplash.
Is your tablet okay?
Yeah, no, it's just because it leans against my laptop screen so that I can get the angle right.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I was going to grab my phone and close my laptop lid and forgot that my tablet was there.
So your laptop is still not in working order?
It is. I just tried to get onto Hangout now, but it doesn't want to work. But I fixed the sound on my laptop. I ran my cucumber tests, but I just saw that I'm actually getting the same failures as what you are on the cucumber. So maybe my stuff is fine. But I'm going to check that over the weekend. That's my priority.
Okay. Rebase against development too, if you haven't done it recently.
Yeah, I have. I
have
been.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Sam.
Hey guys.
We're back.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, like for me, a big part of Agile Ventures is the whole transparency thing. And, like when we did the initial paid project for local support, we did everything completely open. When we first started discussing, the Nelson Mandela thing, we kind of took that off air. I'm kind of happy for it to be completely on air because I think, this is all about everybody learning. I guess my only concern as time has gone on is I wonder to the extent to which, openness or trying to get a commitment to open source or even open development from, or as part of the proposal, does that, decrease the chances of us actually landing the thing, or is it even not even worth worrying about? I mean, we just want to have a chat here about. Well, anyway, I put that out.
Keep it live.
Yeah.
Keep it live. I'm happy now. I think now that everybody's got the buy-in.
Right.
From Advoc, from Agile Ventures. So I'm happy, I think just the first initial stages of would this be a viable project?
Right.
Just to take that offline. But no, I'm happy to keep it live now.
Right. Okay, cool, great. Well, that's easy then. Yeah, so go ahead. Concerns, questions, thoughts, what have you.
Okay. So just in terms, I've just kind of done tweaks to it. My only thing was the costings. I know that we were discussing, you were busy working on the costings last night.
Right.
And you were sending screen grabs. I just want to know, are you going to put those costings into the presentation?
I put them into the spreadsheet.
Just so that, in the spreadsheet. But,
so there's a second tab.
Patrick's spreadsheet.
Patrick, I put them into Patrick's spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's a second tab there.
Okay. All right. just quickly grab. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I keep forgetting about that spreadsheet. Okay, perfect. All right. So second sheet. Okay, got it. Okay. So team lead. So team lead would be you, Patrick, and Sam. Is that correct? Just so that I can put. Well, I mean, I'm just so when I'm talking, so that you may not. If we do get it, let's say you might not be on the project, but just to make the client feel comfortable for now, because I've introduced you guys. So I can just put team leads as Sam.
Yeah, well,
myself, and
I'll just bring this up. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of we can put names to it. I mean, this is sort of based on the kind of plan that I put together for other groups, where somebody like myself or Pat might be team lead. Somebody who's got. I mean, this is sort of assuming the team lead is somebody who's got like 10 years of experience, sort of coding and managing.
So cool.
And senior developer is someone who's got, you might say that like they've got 3 to 5, with 3+ years, and then junior developer is, there. So this is kind of, thrown together as sort of based on a 4-person team where people could do pairing rotation. So this is kind of like the minimum size. Then this is based on people working full time, 5 days a week, and this is like really go for it. I mean, I would call that one pizza team, and this can all be. These are all, in ratio terms. Like, I mean, if the coding, what's the word? Developers and team leads and so on are paid differently in South Africa. It's as a proportion of, let's say, how much they would be paid in the US. Then we need to adjust that down by 2/3 or whatever we need to do. Then that's what we need to do.
You're happy to do that.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like an outline to then be played with. I mean, I've kind of thrown in down here. Like, I was able to extract 35 stories out of that, document, of which some are grouped into epics, and I'm kind of going with, each of those is kind of at least a 3-pointer and a couple of one. But this is like in the very best. I mean, this is like, it turns out that they've exaggerated what they want. But so go on.
Sorry. So how do you cost out a point? Sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
Sure, the spreadsheet. Absolutely.
What
we've done here is, so if we look at the project cost here, for example, for this one, this is working out. We're saying we've got, let's say in the best case, actually, what they really want is actually not that complex, also still quite expansive. There's 35 stories at 5 points a story, and then how many points do I think we could manage in a sprint? With a hardworking team like this, I think we could easily get through 15. Well, I kind of said 10 to 15. I've just put 15 in there. That's kind of being gung-ho. And so you can see the equation here. So we're basically multiplying the number of stories by the number of points. We're dividing by how many points we can get done per sprint. And then we're multiplying by the price of how much it would cost to pay these people for a 2-week sprint.
Okay.
So that's where this comes from. And that basically says, if this estimate of the approximate points per story was accurate, then the whole thing could be done in 12 weeks, at this cost.
Okay.
And there's a lot of very, so anyway, but we can do that, and we have a different version here which says, well, worst case, actually all of these things turn out to be more, let's say it actually ends up being like 10 points per story. We can see it costs twice as much and it takes twice as long.
Okay.
And this is a massive simplification because, we've got these 35 stories, but some of them, maybe split into like 3 epics that each become 10 points over the course of them. And it's only through the process of, as we've talked about, kind of repeatedly exploring with the sprints that, the numbers become clear. So to go back to the ramp up process, what we would expect to see over this ramp up process by getting to this point is that we'd then be able to say, oh, actually, okay, you know, we've realized there are actually 50 stories. We've done some pointing on the beginning one. We've got some prioritization from the client of these are the key ones. So we can say, right, your key needs that must be delivered, but, you know, can be delivered on 1st of June, and it'll, you know, cost this much, and we can have some degree of certainty. And then it's by kind of going through this process that we end up being able to do the longer term planning with more and more accuracy, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, from the client's point of view, our best guess right now, once we get rolling with sprints after the ramp up, is 3 to 6 months, and at this rate, $166,000 to $332,000 after the ramp up period. So that's our best guess right now. Again, dollars will change as we adjust costing, et cetera. But that's the slide. We need to, Laura, we probably need a slide that summarizes all the financials rather than go through all of this stuff with them, which we don't want to do. Yeah.
Because they'll be taking it away with us, with them, I mean, you know, and by next week they might have forgotten what we've said.
Sure.
I would suggest also that this particular detail, this slide here, and also my spreadsheet, the ramp-up one, maybe we don't share that with them.
Right.
Because the tendency of clients is to focus on a specific number and say, why is that number that?
Right.
You know, and we don't want to get in that discussion with them. You know, why are you paying $600 a day to the team lead? Why can't that be, you know, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you end up being, it's sort of deck chairs on the things. I think that ultimately they're going to be interested in, oh, you can do this amount of work per month. And, you know, the obviously we can, I mean, it's difficult because, you know, we'll be working with people around the world who've got their own cost of living in their different locations and so on. So, you know, I think it's a great comparison to do, okay, if this team was on the ground in South Africa, what were they being paid, and then use that to, you know, adjust, you know, sort of get this number close to something that might be sensible. What we don't know from the other people who are doing this is what the range of pricing that they're gonna give is. I mean, it's you know, as I was maybe saying yesterday, I think the important thing is to kind of cover our back so that if we do get it, that we can compensate people appropriately for the amount of work that it's going to involve. So
sure. And then payment terms, because that's one of they want to know. What would the payment terms be after each sprint?
Well, I would make them monthly milestones. I would say the sprint is a 2-week thing. I think is a little short. I think it would be, you know, we'd have a certain amount up front, and then we would have, you know, we would have a payment of reaching milestones at every second sprint, I would say, and so, you know, we would be, I mean, I think what we would want is, you know, for this phase, there needs to be payment up front for this. Right, for this phase, and then because this phase will be part of the process of agreeing the milestones. So, you know, having got to this point, we can say at the end of the second sprint, we really expect the you know, the website, the basic website, let's say, and one portion of the intranet to be up and be being used, you know, and then so payment at the end of that second sprint is, you know, a function of do they have that? Like if we've not delivered if we've not delivered those basic things at the end of those 2 weeks, then they're like, well, hey, you know, you're not paying. So I would be the sensible way to work it from my point of view. Does that make sense with you, Pat?
Yep, it does. Absolutely. And, you know, we're putting skin in the game, which is we don't get paid just because we hit a milestone. We get paid because we actually delivered features that they want.
Right.
And that's how they'll perceive it, hopefully.
Okay. So would we be able to give them a costing from this first section to say, okay, this first phase is going to cost you, which is what you've given me now, is that right? Is that
No,
we
160?
we
so
haven't had.
I'll just do this, like if I just take here, like, so that first costing there includes the first. So we've got, oh, damn, come on, what are you gonna do? I need here, I want, no, I need that to include the thing then. Exclude that. We want that. Okay, let me just change this. So this is going from C11. So this is going to be like the sprint numbers here may not necessarily. Let's go. That's going to work, right? So I mean, this numbers here. I mean, also this thing is only taking into account the development work, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's simply developers. It's not like which may be different from these numbers.
Yeah.
Go on, Pat.
What I can do is just figure out what this phase would cost based upon the roles of the people doing this work. This upfront stuff is going to be more expensive on an hourly basis because we have senior people taking the lead. When the development starts, we have more developers banging away at a lower rate.
Right.
So what I can do is figure out the hourly rate for these particular people, and total up what it's going to take for this ramp up phase. Yeah.
So what I've got here now is we've got like this is the, like, based on your estimate for here, Pat, this is the number of hours that we've got for the kind of the ramp up.
What we call the ramp up, yeah.
Right. And this one here, we've got this is like your estimate of, 160 hours of people for the first sprint. So kind of this one, that sprint thing, that needs to be reconciled with this, something like this.
Right.
Bringing in, I mean, we've got there like the net. There's, one could be adjusting this to include the non-technical staff and so on.
Well, maybe on the ramp up we don't show the hours. We just show.
Oh no, okay. You don't necessarily have to show any of them. I'm just thinking in terms of like the quick thing to do to give an estimate for the ramp up is to work out what you were talking about is the blended rate for these. And I mean, if we were talking about what we've got here, we can talk about a blended rate which is going to be equal to.
It's $39, I think, right? That's what I did over there under column G.
Hold on one second.
Oh, you do it too, just to confirm.
Okay, there. All right. So you've got here.
I did it for people and then 8 hours a day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've just done average, which.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Which is you've done the sum of the three of them divided by 4 and then divided by 8 hours a day. But it's interesting that comes out different.
It is interesting
because I would have thought that would be the same thing. Because if I do sum and I think that I would try. Yeah, I'm doing average because it's yours is correct and mine is wrong because I was just taking the three things there. So yeah, 3906. Yeah. So go on.
How's that seem to you, Laura? I think South African conversion, etc. We're at 20 something rand. I think what 23, 24, something like that is local prevailing rate for a software engineer. Is that correct?
No, sure, that's too cheap. I think it's about 550 rand.
No, I mean if you convert that to dollars, I thought.
Oh, to dollars. Yeah. Okay.
Based upon the figures you came up with from that website, if we converted it to dollars, it was something like $24 an hour.
Well, it was interesting though that yesterday I get it a lot though, is a company from India called me because they always want to do work. And they do a lot of work here at South African companies. And they were charging $170 an hour.
Per person?
No, I don't think it was per person. I think it was just overall
for the team?
$170.
Okay, so if we have $40 times 4, that's $160 per hour for the team that we're envisioning, right? So that's competitive with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was just doing. Currently, there's 13 South African rand to the US dollar. So, I mean, based on the blended rate, and on this idea that we've got 500 plus hours for the ramp up, that is $20,000 for 255,000 rand.
Which is not a lot in dollars.
20,000. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, I think.
I mean, I'm just saying for dollars. I'm just saying if I understand the amount of work that's going to go into this.
Yes.
Mm.
You know, $255,000 here is a lot of money. There, but for you guys, it's not.
Well, let me just stop you there, Laura. This is the number for the ramp up, right? This is just the plan. This is like the 4-week planning activity that would get us to the start of. I mean, so sort of based on this. I mean, so you've got there. Let's say there's 160 hours with that. That's about that's like four people do approximately. I mean, like it's still extremely rough. But what we would be looking at here is a $20,000 ramp up over 4 weeks for the first month. And then we're looking at, based on this, actually building the thing between $160,000 and $300,000 for building the whole thing.
Can I also suggest that 19,000 I don't think is quite accurate, because in the ramp up we are heavily weighted towards senior people who are paid more, versus the sprint, which we're heavily weighted toward at least half the team is paid much less.
Mm-hmm.
So the $39 blended rate doesn't really apply. We have a different blended rate for the ramp up because it's more senior people loaded and less junior people.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you could, so I got to work that out.
Yeah. So I mean, go through and work out the rates. You can. I mean, you can do an adjustment to the spreadsheet that basically sets a rate for each person and then works out a precise thing there. But
right. So we're more at Sam, Pat, Lynette, and Laura. We're more at the $600 per day business rather than the $250, that kind of thing. So I'll work out the details on that, Laura, and update the spreadsheet.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Once we do that, do you want to put together, or do you want me to put together a summary financials?
Can you put a summary together for me, Patrick?
Yep, we'll do.
Thank you.
That, certainly.
Perfect.
So maybe we're not that bad at the blended rate for the team at $39 per hour. It seems like we might be competitive with what other people are asking for.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm quite excited now. I mean, I sat and I was working on this presentation last night as well, and Lynette phoned me again this morning, and she said it's looking great, and she's excited. So.
Do we need to talk to her today if she's available, or are we okay?
We are talking to her at 5.
Yeah, we've
got to take her through
we've got the
just so she's got also just an understanding from your perspective, so that we're all on the same page.
Okay. Yep. So in terms of the project team, I'm okay with being designated the senior lead. We can swap people in and out later, but if they want a name to put to that, and Sam, you're kind of the QA oversight guy on this whole thing. Do we kind of add you in somehow, or?
Well, you've kind of got me in that for here. I mean, I would say that, you know, if they end up saying yes and we're going to do this, I would say that possibly this should be, you know,
a shared role.
Well, or even that. Well, it sort of depends, because I think, you know, there's a question about who we have who can be a senior developer. We've certainly got no shortage of junior developers. There's 2 or 3 people that we might put in there. I mean, I think particularly because of the nature and scale and all of this. I mean, I mean, and maybe the thing to do as well though is, this would be that you and I would share this one, Pat, and we would spend, you know, like I might spend 2 days a week and you would spend 3 days a week, and we would do it between us. And that anyway. But I mean, we would work. I think the important thing is that we were able to make sure that the junior developers working on it all the time were supported by, you know, yourself or myself or the senior developer. So it's about, you know, making sure there's coverage at all times for QA. Okay. I think. You know, with the does that make sense? Yep,
absolutely. I think junior developer. Obviously, I think Laura, you'd want to be in that role. Is that correct?
Definitely.
I'm also thinking that Arun. I like Arun. I like his work ethic, and I like what he does. And he's very tenacious too. He doesn't give up, and he's always asking and pushing himself, asking questions. So I think we can find people who would fit in right away. And be a good team. Oh yeah, no, I think there's certainly a lot of very enthusiastic juniors.
Yes. I mean, one thing also to consider is we have this idea that being the premium member is what qualifies people for being eligible for paid projects. So that's something else to consider.
Oh, right. There's that.
So I mean, I've also gone.
Well, they can. Let's say you can work it this way. Even Sam, is by saying you can work on the project. If you're not a premium member, you won't get paid.
Right. There you go.
Well, there is that.
Well, and also, of course, actually, the premium membership rate is extremely low if you're actually being paid for if you were receiving then the premium payment would be sort of a trivial thing. I mean, I think
yes.
it's you know,
It would be.
and Arun's has demonstrated his commitments, you know, over quite a time period. It's I mean, part of that is about trying to get more people because some people, you know, they just disappear sometimes, you know, from the community, and we couldn't be having that on this this project, or at least that would be very, very challenging.
We would need commitment. We would need commitment.
Absolutely, definitely need commitment. But
this is a tiger team. I mean, this is not just this is a commitment of putting together some of the best people we've got. We call it a tiger team.
Right.
And they work ferociously and continuously to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, I think this is, you know, this is not, you know, a random website for somebody. This is like people who are delivering care to vulnerable people. You know, this system has to work. It has to work well. It has to not get in their way, and it has to assist them and help them do the important job that they're doing. So, you know, we have to be kind of serious about this. Yeah. The other thing I was going to mention, I was just thinking about was there's this thing about references. So
resumes.
I mean, I've got this document. I guess I've got this document which is sort of summaries of all the resumes that I got for the previous paid project announcement. I guess I will just check in the paid projects if anybody objects me sharing that with directly for this one. If anybody wants to
that would be great.
From that, and I'll get that to you. But the references in terms of the like people like Chet from MetPlus and Rachel from Voluntary Action Harrow. Is it enough to put their contact details, or do we need like an actual like paragraph of like why we're awesome from those people?
Nah. Well, if you've got that, then that's great. But I wouldn't go out of your way. I'd just contact details, link to their site, and maybe an email address and their name.
Sounds good.
I'll check. I'll send an email to Chet this morning.
Great.
See if he's comfortable with that.
Yep. I'll do that for Rachel. Nice one.
Great.
All right.
And you've got references too. You mentioned Laura, so I think we're good there.
Yeah. I'm busy. I'm actually busy putting that up now. Perfect. Okay, so we will chat in 1, 2, 3 hours. Well, not even 2 hours.
Yeah.
45.
Cool.
Perfect.
Right. See you then.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Ciao.